Hello, people. We are back. A2TP podcast, episode 120, 120. And we are back in the building. It's your boy, International Walk.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
And we are back with another episode of us. A2TPodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, TikTok, Breaker, and Spotify. Let's get the show started. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good, bad, indifferent.
I'm good, doing good, not doing bad, not feeling indifferent. I'm feeling pretty good today. Mentally, I would say I'm a 9. Just feeling good, moving through life, one day at a time, one foot in front of the other, and just overall feeling good.
Okay, 9.
9. Financially a 9. I know I always say I'm a 10, and technically we are a 10. Made a little slip up, but nothing major. But it was my bad, and I accept accountability. But we still good. But I'll take a shot for that. Work is an 8. It's just work. Nothing good. I won't say nothing good. I'm grateful, blessed. Nothing bad, I'll say.
That's what they say. People slip up and say some weird shit about
their
jobs.
I don't want to.
They don't fucking have
exactly. I don't want to say nothing good, nothing bad. I'll say nothing.
You get a chance to go to work every day and make money, and
that's the good part.
Fund your lifestyle.
Exactly. So I changed that. Nothing bad, nothing outstanding, or out of the ordinary happening. It's just work right now. Busy as ever, but just work. Physically, I'm feeling good. I must say I'm a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you could have had 9s all the way across, but work's an 8.
Yeah, work is an 8. I ain't going front. I would be lying if I gave it a 9 just to give it a 9. It's an 8. It's an 8 because mentally it gets on my nerves. But yeah, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling
a little bored already.
It's nighttime. I keep telling you that every week. Mentally, I feel I felt like a 9, but I feel like an 8 now. Okay. Obviously because of you.
Oh wow.
So I'm gonna go with an 8 for the mental. Finances, I'm gonna go with a 9.
Okay.
Work, I'm gonna go with a 9. Work is okay. Work is good.
Mm-hmm. Except for y'all bad signal in that area.
It is a terrible signal.
And you would think in 2023, like, that wouldn't be an issue anywhere.
Physicality, I feel like a 9. I feel great. I've been working like a motherfucker at work, my ass off, like actually working. And it feels good. Feels great. Feel like I'm back in the flow of things, like for real. So physically, I would say I'm a 9. I'm holding up.
That's
Put it like that. I ain't broken down yet. Wows and woes, ups, downs, stops and goes. Blacks and whites, lefts and rights, do's and don'ts.
The wow is just, I'm going to steal from your wows on quite a few weeks. Just another week to be blessed. Another day. I don't even take that for granted, but I say another week from our last show. That's just really it. Just being here and being of sound mind is just a wow. I'll say that. A lot of people ain't. I have not always been. And in this moment in my life where my feet are, I am. And I'm grateful for that. So that's my wow.
Whoa.
My wow is my eye. I have this freaking sty on my eye. So let me tell y'all a funny story. When we first met, y'all know we always knew each other. But our first year of being together, I had got a sty on my eye. And had this thing for like almost a year. My first driver's license. I mean, those who know me know my right eye is always a little anyway. Like it's smaller than my left. But it was real small for a long time because I had this sty for almost a year. I even went to the emergency room to Will's Eye. The lady was like, she kind of snuck me out of there. It was like, it ain't nothing they can do for you. Don't let them charge you, medical bills and all that stuff. But when I was younger, I used to get them a lot. I have not had one in forever. And this little thing crept up on me and it is hurting. It feels like a man is sitting on my lid. And every time I try to open my eye, he do like this and push it back down. And it's itching and it hurt. It's just a mess right now. So that's my woe. But, things could be worse. I'm grateful to still have an eye.
Yeah.
What's your wows or moves?
My wow is that I won $50 on scratch off.
Oh,
I paid
exciting.
$20 for it, so I only really won $30.
But that's exciting.
But yeah, so I was beat out some money today, and I won $50 back. So
That's exciting. I'm happy for you.
My woe is that you're fucked up. Is that your eye is fucked up, and I just don't like when my wife is in pain. I'm always worried about her arm. Now I'm concerned about her fucking eye, and if this is gonna be here for another year or a week. So
you know what? I don't remember the last one being. I mean, of course, it was 20 years ago. But I remember it being there, and after a while, it just was there. Like, it didn't hurt. This thing is hurting. So, this ain't going to have much. We're going to figure out something. This hurts. And I've been putting hot compresses on it, at nighttime, in the morning time, throughout the day. And it's right in the corner. Not only does it hurt, it itches. And I'm trying not to, irritate my eye even more. It's just, what the kids say? It's a bad joint.
I never heard that, but
you never heard them say that? It's just a bad joint right now.
No, but I could imagine. I probably had a sty in my life 3 times, but I remember being able to see it out of my other eye, and it was that big and it's that bothersome.
Yeah.
So
one of the things I know about myself,
and I think fucking with it makes it even worse. And tomorrow you're gonna have Goo Gaga in your eye in the morning.
Well, that's good. That means that it busts. I want it to bust, but I think it can I have to make sure that whenever I get my hair done, that I keep any dirt from your hair being done out of my eyes, because my eyes are very sensitive to that. And I've been able to mitigate that issue for a while, and maybe I just got caught up this time. And
I just took my hair out my eyes. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. You scared of a storm coming?
Why you say that?
You don't want to get caught in the rain?
No.
Can you stand the rain?
No, I'm good.
But I like this. This is nice.
I can go out in the rain.
Yeah.
Topic of discussion is Snowfall.
Ooh.
Snowfall, great TV show. We just watched 6 seasons of it. And little spurts at a time. It's not like a Netflix thing where you can binge all 10 episodes.
Right.
This was an FX programming that later was able to be seen on Hulu and other streaming stations of sort. But Snowfall was a awesome show.
Yeah.
Right up there with Sopranos and Breaking Bad. For me, up there with Sopranos, Breaking Bad, The Wire. Then you might want to throw in a little Snowfall, but it's up there. It's a great show, just enough seasons. The characters, the character arcs. So we're gonna get into all that. We want to talk about Alvin and Sissy. We want to talk about Jerome and Louis, Franklin and Veronique, and Leon and Wanda, and Teddy and Oso.
Question: Which do you prefer? When Netflix releases and you can binge and have it over, or when it's one episode at a time and it can kind of last you some
I want
time?
it at my leisure, so I want all 10 or 12 episodes. But obviously, I'm not going to sit and watch 12 hours of TV if I can't. So I would just want it at my leisure, because I can watch 2 episodes here, 2 episodes there, 1 episode here.
See, I think
I don't like the anticipation, because it's I don't do shit anyway but let it build up. 2 or 3 episodes build up before I go back to it. But I can't do the 1 episode. It takes me back to network TV.
Yeah, I like it that way because it gives us a span of time. I think if everything just started being released at one time, yeah, you're not going to watch 12. Well, it was 10 episodes in this season, right? You're not going to sit for 10 hours, but it is highly likely that you can finish that in a weekend. You do 2 episodes on a Friday, 3 episodes on a Saturday. It ain't nothing to watch 3 episodes on a Saturday, then maybe 3 on a Sunday and then 2 more on a Monday. You're done. And then it's all right, what's next? So I used to like that idea of being able to binge stuff, but I appreciate, now don't get me wrong, like you said, we like to let it build up so that we can watch 2 and 3 at a time, but that gives us, you know, a span of, yeah, but it gives us a span of 10 weeks to have to finish the show.
Yeah, I don't like it like that.
Okay.
I mean, you like it like that, that's fine, but that's not how I prefer TV nowadays. Like, I don't want to be waiting for something every Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, I want to just be able to go to it, whether it be on demand,
a
streaming service that I pay for. I mean, that's just the way of the world now, so it's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But Snowfall, what did you think about the last episode?
I am happy that I did not succumb, even though I was going to watch it anyway. But I kind of steered away from people's opinions because I saw a lot of people were literally saying the last episode was trash. And my thing with TV or movies and stuff, when people say something is garbage or that was horrible, I always feel like I want them to add to me at the end because that's your opinion. Everybody has one, as we should. I thought it was great. Mm-hmm. It was sad, but it was realistic to show that, you know, unfortunately, the man on top sometimes loses. And also to show how the very thing that may have helped you climb a ladder, if you don't change, could very well be the thing that knocks you off. And that was the lesson that I got out of it because, you know, the aggressiveness, the assertiveness that Franklin showed to establish himself in that world was the very thing that broke him down, because when he tried to show that same aggressiveness, then we saw we saw what the results of that, whether it was with Veronique, whether it was with his mom. Like, you can't keep beefing up and bucking at people like that. They're gonna have something for you, which they did. And I think, you know, at some point you have to learn how to evolve once you establish yourself in any realm of life. You can't be the same and expect to get the same results. So that was one of the things that really stood out to me. It was like that same way he was in the beginning to help, you know, gain his respect was the very thing that broke him down.
I hear you. I think they were two things in different two things. I think they were different. The two things that you're talking about. I think in the beginning, just thinking back to season 1 and season 2, Franklin wasn't as assertive as he was at the end. He was more like just wanting everybody to get money and grow his drug empire. Those aggressive killing scenes didn't come till later, mm-hmm. and I think that was more of a power trip. For me, the last episode was more of a power trip than about the money. Because a lot of people would say, you know, like he didn't deserve the money. But if you work like that, you sold drugs for the CIA, you killed people. In the midst of that, he damaged his family, his friendships. Like, I think at that point, you do deserve the money. But I think he was two different people from season 1, 2, 3 to the last episode in 6. Like, in the last episode, he was just on a power trip. Like, he couldn't even see straight, couldn't think shit straight, and it was just about the power of, I don't even think it was about the 73 million. It was just about beating Teddy at that point. Like, I have to win. Like, because even when it all broke down and he was so-called broke, he still had some money in the Springhouse thing he could have had. He still had all them properties. Like, that was before he sold all that stuff. So he didn't have the 73 million, but he was still comfortable enough to walk away and be okay. But the power of somebody took something from me and I got to get it back, that's what his downfall was. That's what he couldn't shake. And that's what it was for me. That's what I got out of it. Mm. Alton and Sissy. Alton and Sissy. Just there as a couple, that dynamic. I know Alton was out early, before all the shit hit. But what did you just think about their dynamic and how they their stories arced?
I mean, I think for Sissy, it was one of the things that the very thing that she was so against at the beginning, she became such an intricate piece at helping to build up. And I think she realized.
Do you think she succumb to the lifestyle, like turning a blind eye, or out of a mother's love, like I gotta be here to protect my son from shit?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think she saw, because I mean, the lifestyle, she lived a good life. She didn't live like a luxurious life, but she lived
But the seas parted for her
comfortable.
too.
Yeah, she was comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't have the struggle on her back like she did prior to her son becoming the kingpin that he was. But at the same time, I think she also wanted to be part of it as protection. And you can say this is good, bad, whatever. I think she wanted to use the money for good. So I think with her, despite the fact of knowing, it was kind of like, well, the ends will justify the means, having the shelter and that sort of thing. So she knew it was bad, but it was like, I'm going to turn a blind eye, and kind of her penance was doing something good in the community with it, until she realized, like, the ends didn't justify the means, because what she created, the biggest thing she created, her son, look how it had destroyed him. So yeah, and I think their relationship, I mean, it was one that, like you said, Alton wasn't around long. He kind of came in, and you see him get himself clean. But when those paths aren't aligned like that, it isn't gonna work. So I think.
Right. So did you notice in season 1, episode 1, that's where the store that Franklin went to in season 6 at the end, when he was all fucked up in the street and walking with Leon, that store was the same store he went to when he saw his pop in the beginning that he worked at. So it's like, it's weird to see how they make those things come back around. And like, now you used to see your dad and you worked in that store and he was an alcoholic, now you're going in there to buy liquor. So it's like a full circle moment. And how they shot this, like when they was walking to the store and they were shooting Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy, because that was John Singleton's movie, and it was like around that time in 1991 where they would have been shooting that in their neighborhood. So they were shooting Boys in the Hood at that time. But it's crazy to see how that show comes full circle to him. I was working in the store.
Becoming what he despised.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, Franklin was like beat dead at the end. Like, I mean, out there. But the poignant part was, I'm free.
Yeah.
Like, that was the poignant part. Like, he lost everything, but it was more of a I'm free type of thing. Like,
you know what that made me think about? When we talk about homelessness and how people, a lot of people on the streets, they have that mentality of being free from the system. And no matter how someone else may look at their situation or the detriment of their situation, to them it's like, yeah, it is what it is, and it may appear to be something to you, but to me, it's freedom in not having anything and not being attached. I know for Franklin it was a little deeper, because it was like, okay, he's free from the CIA and all of that, but it's weird how the mind transforms what one sees for bad into good, where it almost, I think that's what we start to call people crazy, because they look at a situation like that. When I say people, I mean like homeless people.
Right.
But that's what and who I thought about in that moment. Is like, damn, this is how you hear people say homeless people think, like being in the streets is free. People always want to think they want to cure homelessness or fix homelessness. And if you talk to some homeless people, and I haven't, but just from documentaries and stuff, some of them don't want to be bound down to bills and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Sounds crazy to us, because we want a roof over our head. But to them, in their minds, it's that freedom.
Well, we would like that too, but to what expense?
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to be in the street behind it.
We're too attached.
We don't want the stresses of the bills and the every day at work and got to do this and punch a clock. Like, we don't want that either, but at what expense? Not being in a cardboard box outside.
Exactly. We're too attached to the comfort of life than to allow discomfort to give us the comfort of freedom.
Exactly. That's well said, babe. Jerome and Louis.
So let me say, I know, Louis, she kind of had her ups and downs. I think for Louis too, it was a power struggle. First, let me stop. I'm gonna say this. I love the way Jerome loved Louis. That was his girl.
Mm-hmm.
He loved her down from being a trick. She was to
Mm-hmm.
being his wife. He loved her down, and it's sad because Jerome was one of those people. He didn't have no aspirations of being a millionaire.
No,
He
or
was,
a drug dealer.
Yeah, he was
He
cool.
did it because she wanted to.
And once even when they had a little bit of money, he wanted to fall back and just be with his wife and love his wife and live that life, which good, bad, or indifferent. It's like, why are you just comfortable in this? But I think he was comfortable with the stability of being where they were. No, yeah, we could do better. We could live more luxuriously, but I'm comfortable just having you. And that was dope about it. But also the other dope thing about it was he supported his wife even to their own detriment.
Yeah.
Louis definitely a power struggle because as a black woman in any industry, even the drug industry, she wanted to not be looked at as his wife. She wanted to be looked at as his equal. Like, I'm okay being the co-hostess with the mostest. She wanted to say, no, he's a host and I'm a host.
Yeah, but if you're sitting on $30 million, like for me, all of this shit wouldn't have spiraled out of control if it wasn't for Louis. Louis was the cause of all of this shit starting to unravel.
Because she wanted to go to the plug herself. She went
behind his back and took the plug. If that wouldn't have never happened, it wouldn't have pinned them apart as family. It wouldn't have pinned them together, against each other as family. And it wouldn't have never got to that point where they was trying to beat each other. But this all started because of Louis and her power struggle as, like you said, a black woman wanting to be looked at. You already got money. Your husband is telling you that, we got enough. How much is enough? He said that 10 times throughout the show. Right. How much is enough, babe? Like, how much is enough?
Let's
chill. We can go wherever the fuck we want to go and spend for life, but you want the plug. You want to beat Franklin. And it's like, I really don't want to, as Jerome, that's my nephew. Like, I don't want to beat him. Like, why can't we just go chill?
This is, again, another example, and I know we didn't get to Franklin and Veronique, but the same there, but just like out in Sissy, of not being aligned in what y'all want, husband and wife, and it's not gonna work. And we see what the end result of that was, because while he was okay, enough was enough, she wanted more, and just that lack of alignment led to their his untimely or you might say timely demise, because that was the
second time, because if she would have went and did the drop like she was scheduled to do, then she would have never got kidnapped from the horse farm. She went to go ride horses while Jerome went and did the drop.
Some pieces.
Yeah, so if she would have went and did it, then she would have never got kidnapped at the horse farm. Jerome would have never been set into motion to do all the shit he did to get her back.
Yeah. So another thing too, even though I know, she was the culprit in all of the unraveling, it made me smile, the ending. I wanted her to win, and not win in the sense of being on top. I just wanted her to be okay. But it also made me think, it kind of hit close to home, like how long that's gonna last being on the run.
Yeah.
It kind of hit close to home.
Did you notice when she was running away after the phone call from Franklin that she was pregnant as she was running?
You know what? I know. It's weird you say that.
Well, she had a bump.
I noticed that, and I meant to look on social media to see.
I'm about to say, before you even go a step further, that actress that plays Louis in real life is pregnant. So it could have been a clothing error, a costume mishap or something that you saw her belly when she was running, or it could have been left open that I'm pregnant by Jerome and he's dead and I'm going on. So you can look at it either way. They could because they didn't address it, but people saw it.
When she held that sweatsuit.
And she was running. And she had all the scars on her faces. You could see her belly bump. But she's pregnant that far in real life.
So it's weird. I never took it as them implying she was pregnant by Jerome, but I did think to myself,
Well, that was her husband, so she would have been pregnant by Jerome.
No, I'm just saying I never took that as part of the story, like the unstated storyline. But when I saw it, I thought to myself, like you said, I thought it was a wardrobe malfunction. Like, they should have put a little something more baggy on her, because I think she's pregnant in real life.
Right.
Yeah. But again, I was happy to see. First, this sounds crazy. I like when the bad guy, considering you ain't hurt no kids or nothing like that. But I like when the bad guy gets away. So I was happy she got away. I was happy those people protected her. Because it felt good to know that she got away. She loved her husband too, despite she made mistakes. Mm-hmm. Again, that led to him being killed, but she loved him too. And I was happy that she got away. And I've been thinking, like, what's her life gonna be like?
Well, horses brought her peace. She was gonna be on horse farms. That's what she seemed like she ended up, because that brought her peace.
Yeah, I hope the FBI, like the DEA never come back looking for her.
Yeah, like the woman said, you either, like a lot of people come through here to get work for a couple of months and move on. So is that your life? You're just gonna move on every 3, 4, 5, 6 months?
Yeah. Because
they come in to look for you again. Franklin and Veronique's dynamic relationship.
Didn't I tell you?
And this is crazy how social media and women.
I know what you about to say.
Your gender. People in the comments talking about, oh my God, how she should have left him. She should have robbed him. He choked her out. Now,
no, I thought you about to say.
No, now, y'all must have, like, girl, y'all ain't never been choked before or choked out. All he did to her was said, don't go behind my fucking back. He didn't choke her out. Like, choking somebody out means you choke them out, like knocked out, like cold. They're not there no more. They're choked out.
So, okay.
He put his hands around her throat, which is 1,000% wrong. But he didn't choke her out. And I kept seeing, oh my God, Franklin choked her out. Oh my God, Franklin choked her out. Oh, he choked her out.
Yeah, I mean, wrong terminology, but he was 1,000% wrong.
Hell
and she
yeah.
should have left. I don't think she should have robbed him per se. That I don't agree. I mean,
I'm sure her plausibility would be, I need money for the baby.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I need money for the
baby. But even if, I think it would have been dope, because she was a dope chick that rolled with him. She was very smart. And again, I think that was part of his downfall, is that lack of alignment and him power tripping, and he should have listened to her, but he wanted to do what he wanted to do. He wanted to hold on to that high cost building that, even though they had assets, they had no liquid cash. So you kept this building that you can't pay the mortgage for and sold all these other properties instead of letting go of that high behind mortgage, just because he wanted that status symbol of feeling like, oh, he had a property in downtown area, instead of saying, you know what, you kept this one big thing for all these small things which could have blown up bigger. So I knew, and I told you the episode before, that she was going to leave him.
You think she should have robbed him?
I think what she should have did, which would have been dope and it would have set the precedent, is she should have just took half.
I knew you were going to say that.
She should have took half. Like, leave him with something. But if it was $800,000, knowing that she took 4 and she left you 4, would have been like, damn, at least she ain't take all my money. And yes, she is pregnant with his child. She needs to be able to take care of the child. I ain't gonna bother you. Now, I don't agree with, leaving and not letting him see his kid, but whatever. But she should have took half. She should not have taken all of his money.
Yeah.
That wasn't cool.
And I think that's what, tipped them over. That's what tipped, even worse than the 73
because he ain't trust nobody. Leon, he trusted, but it was more so because he did trust Leon, I will say that. But him and Veronique, yeah, he should have listened to her.
I never liked her in the beginning. I didn't think she was good looking, and that's just on the surface.
That's what I thought she was about to say, because that's what I saw a lot of women saying, I think it was, her face is her face. I think it was costuming. In season 6, she looked better than season 5 because her hair and makeup, it was low budget in season 5.
It was a lot of wigs and terrible pancake makeup,
terrible costuming in season 5.
But maybe that's what they was looking for. I don't know.
It was fly chicks in the 90s, though.
Yeah, but she was terrible. She didn't, and that's superficial that she wasn't a good looking woman. But in season 6, she looked a lot better.
Yeah.
She looked a lot better.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was the costuming. They didn't do her any justice.
I think that I think that was spiteful. I think she robbed his money because he put his hands around her throat.
Yeah.
That's what that was. I don't think she wanted to do that, but I think that was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, you did this to me, now I'm gonna be spiteful, like a dog shitting on the floor, and I'm gonna take your money. Like, okay, so that's what I'm gonna do now, and you're not gonna see your kid. But I don't think she should have done that to him. Like, that made him spiral out of control way more than the 73 million.
I always think, and I know these are two different things. It's like when women be true to who you are and never leave this is my opinion, never leave a bad taste in a, like, if you're gonna leave, but leave him with the impression like she always was a dope chick, no matter what I did wrong, she was. I say this like when women say, when I hear women say, oh, because their boyfriend or cheated, they're gonna cheat back and then leave, or whatever the situation. If you're gonna break up with him, but don't leave him with that impression like, oh, she was a cheater. Leave him with the guilt of knowing, damn, she still ain't do wrong by me, even though I did wrong by her. I think that's more powerful, because then you level the playing field and it's like, all right, he cheated, you cheated. You ain't no better than him. But if he can be like, damn, she ain't do me wrong and I did her wrong. So for her too, I think that spitefulness, that's why I said she should have took half. Because you don't walk away with zero. You put work in here too, and you are about to have a child, but don't take all his money, because then you lose all your credibility.
Yeah, I think that was some shitty thing to do, to rob his money. It made you look bad as a wife or girlfriend, whatever. I don't think they was married.
Yeah, I don't think they ever got married. Yeah,
but it made you just look like a shitty person to do that, and especially after it's on some "I'm mad that you grabbed my throat" shit. Leave it to the people in the comments. You got choked out.
Yeah, she didn't get choked out, but he shouldn't put his hands on it, and she was right to leave.
I agree with that. You shouldn't have put his hands.
It was building up that she was afraid. She was starting to increasingly get not so much afraid of him, but afraid of his decision making. Right. And then that's when I think she already felt unsecure in just their stability, and
insecure?
I think she unsure, unstable. That's the word. In like their livelihood, but now it's like, okay, I'll say insecure. I'm insecure about our livelihood, but now, or I'm scared about where we're going to land this financially, and now I got to be scared of you physically. Oh hell no, I'm out. I'm out.
2-part question: did Franklin deserve the money? Obviously, going back to Sissy, being his mother and seeing. Used to be a Black Panther and dealing with the CIA and knowing the reach that those people have and the things that they can do, the shitty things that they can do, and knowing that you just can't have $73 million of the government's money and be thinking like it's cool, like you shouldn't have this, and as a mother, I'm trying to protect you, and you're going into deep fucking water if you're playing with these people at this level. And we're not talking about the FBI, we're talking about the CIA, people who can kill you with a necktie. So I'm just saying, do you think after everything, do you think he deserved the money? And also as a mother, do you think she was in the right when she shot Teddy? Because it's like, I don't want you to go this far. I don't want you to have this money.
So I don't think she shot Teddy as a thing in a way of protecting Franklin.
Oh, absolutely she did.
I don't think she did. I think she shot Teddy out of anger because Teddy played with her about Alton. And then when he just like so cavalier, like he got her all excited and thinking that was her baby. Despite how things started, that she loved that man, and when they got back together, she loved him. You played with her heart, you played with her emotions, and first of all, she thought her husband was dead, and then you telling me he alive. Then you telling me it's a possibility I'm going to see him again. You telling me he's still on this earth breathing and we can actually be reunited. Like the flutters that built up in her stomach and her heart, and then you just shut it down and say, I was lying, I shot him twice.
And burned his body. But I think she's a smart enough woman to know you said that in a moment of distress where you're trying to get out of the situation. So you got to think for a second that this could be a lie. Yeah, so you have to think that. And I also think that she loved Franklin way more than Alton. Alton was going out in the street. She loved Franklin, her son, and she poured more into him than she did Alton. Did she love Alton? Yeah, that was her husband. But she had more of a caring towards Franklin than him. And I think she shot him because like he was about to give the numbers, and she knew that. She could have waited 10 more seconds, let him get the money if that's what she wanted, then shot him. It would have been the same thing, but she did that before he even could say the serial numbers, because I do not want you to have this money. And it's a reason why I don't want. Now, I would be pissed at my mom too for doing some shit like that. But I'm just saying, from her perspective, it's almost like you getting way too deep into this, and you just not gonna take $73 million back from the CIA and think it's gonna be cool. You're not gonna just go and live this lavish life with Veronique after you do this to this man.
I get it, but
like, it's Teddy. We know all the shit that Teddy did. Do you actually think you're gonna take this money from this guy, let him go, and life is gonna be good again? Right. No.
But I think just like she walked away before when she went to Cuba, I think she could have made that decision again to just remove herself from the equation if she felt like not. Because
but I think she cared about Franklin.
I do, but so do I think she was right to do it? I ain't a mom, so I can't say, oh, I'm thinking like a mom, but I don't think she should have. He's a grown man. Allow him to make that decision. But maybe as a mom, she felt like that was her way of protecting him. But I still stick to, I'll give it to you, maybe some of that was in protection of her son, but it was some bitterness and anger because, yeah, she probably thought to herself, he could be lying.
Franklin even said that. It's a fucking lie, man.
But still, the possibility.
I get what you're saying. It's hope.
That hope. And then you shot me down like that. You got me all excited with even if I thought 99% of it was a lie, but it's 1%. I could still see him again.
Nah.
Yeah. So
and you look at the situation in its totality. Why did she bring a gun? Because she had every intention on killing him no matter what, not to let Franklin get the money. It wasn't that I'm going to bring a gun in case you give me a false answer to my question. No, I bought this gun and hid it because I'm not letting Franklin get this money. That's what that was about. It wasn't like she ever carried guns or kept one in the tuck. She never had a gun in none of the scenes. But this one time she bought a gun, not because I'm going to ask you a question and if you give me a bad answer, I'm going to shoot you. No.
So do you think if he would have said where Alton was, then she would have still shot him now that she had the location, but still stopped Franklin from getting the money?
She still would have shot him because of that. And my second question is, do you think Teddy should have died in all this?
You know what? I think I
actually like Teddy.
I like Teddy, but I feel like it had to be, which is why I like this show so much, it had to be an unpredictable ending. And I just feel like at what point you can't allow him to just, all the characters to just go on. So I think it was right for him to die. Like he had kind of become like this invincible character, and to a point you don't want it to be unrealistic.
Right.
And then if he didn't die, we know that he would have never let up off Franklin.
Right.
He would have never let Franklin kill his dad, which he didn't even like.
So
but
you
he killed
saying
his dad.
That's what I'm saying. You saying that now, it makes my point of why she killed him. Franklin already killed his dad. Now you about to take $73 million from him, and you think you about to go to fairyland and live, and he gonna just leave us alone?
But
like, you killed his dad, you threatened his son.
But I'm saying she could have killed him after he gave the numbers. But I think that the anger, I think she didn't wait because she let the anger take over her. So even if even if her point was to kill him anyway, I think the anger took over.
I think it might have ignited what was already going to happen. She was going to kill him regardless. It's why she bought the gun.
And like you said, not just killing his dad, you threatened his son.
And Franklin could not see that you a rogue bad CIA agent. You just killed his father, and he didn't tell nobody.
Going to get you.
Yeah, he didn't go to the law and say, "Yo, lock this guy up. He killed my dad." No, I'll fix this. So you know he's going to come after you.
He's going to get you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So yeah, he had to die. Or it would have never ended. For if he didn't die, Franklin would have forever been trying to get his money back, or he would have just ended up dead.
Yeah, I think he would have ended up dead. I think that Teddy had to die because he would have never let up on Franklin,
and he would have never allowed Oso to go on with his life.
Yeah,
he would have never.
Yeah.
So he had to die, yes.
Leon and Wanda, their relationship, their dynamic, how, you know, that was his girl at first, and then he, out of, you know, the circumstances of their environment, got her hooked on crack, and that took her to a different level of like low, and then was like reeled back in, and he, you know, he was more like a self-aware drug dealer, like knowing like this shit ain't right. I'm tearing my neighborhood up. I don't really want to do this. I'm trying to find any type of crack of light to get out of this shit. But sees in the end, Leon was like, I don't give a fuck who the connect is. Could be Mexican, could be Colombian, could be your fucking cousin. We need to buy something. So he was like all in again. And Wanda's like, yo, like I'm thinking about going back to Ghana. Like I want to be out. Like I don't want to do this shit no more. And plus it's hard for her being around crack.
Being a former addict.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of them, I think that he saved her at a time when she needed to be saved, and then she saved him at a time, and then it was up to them. But the lack of alignment, once again, in this relationship led to them parting ways. I think
that was kind of left open, because when him and Franklin was talking, he was like, you know, you back and forth to Africa, I'm gonna start calling you yo-yo, you here, you there, you here, you there. So it never really kind of addressed that, are they together? And then
he did,
because Leon said to him, he said, how's Wanda? And he's like, she's better, but marriage is hard. And they left it at that. Yeah. So it kind of let you know, like, we're trying. We're still together.
I got the impression like they were separated, but they was cool. But yeah, you never know.
Yeah, because that's where they left it at. He asked how Wanda was, and he was like, "She's better, but marriage is hard." So that I just took that as okay. They might be still trying. They still in contact with each other, and he's back and forth to Ghana, so he's seeing her.
Yeah, and I feel like, but again, that lack of alignment is what led her to bounce, because she wasn't with what he was trying to do. She was trying to stay on the right track, and he had,
especially when she seen he was both feet back in.
Yeah, and he had it in him, but it was just hard to pull away. So I think it was one of those situations where they needed each other, like at different times in their life, and they helped each other at different times in their life. But yeah, I think in all of these relationships, the lack of alignment is what led there to be dysfunction.
Should Leon have given Franklin the money?
No, because that wasn't that
wasn't
gonna fix.
And I just gave you $500,000. I'm not about to give you. And the way he said it, like how much money you got left? Yeah, I got about $3 million. And then he start making plans. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna do this. It'd have been like, whoa, bro. Like,
and you invest and
fuck you. And he said, I'll pay you back in 5 years.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? He gonna pay me back in 5 years?
Not only that, again, Franklin, his power trip, his selfishness. I tell you, I got $3 million. You want all of it?
And you gonna give it to me or I'm gonna take it.
But you want all of it.
And you gonna give it to me or I'm gonna take it.
You didn't say, all right, bro, can I get $1 million?
And you gonna give it to me or I'm gonna take it.
I was happy that Leon Boyce had his back, though. Like, and it's a shame because when he was like, is this how you wanted to end? Leon was like, no. Like,
and when Wanda asked, but he knew, like, because when Wanda said, you think he'll come for you? He was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, not here. He's not. All these niggas I got in here, like, he ain't coming here.
Yeah. I'm happy that he didn't give him the money, because it would have it wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have fixed it.
And I thought they was going to beef because Sissy was like a mom to Leon. Mm-hmm. And Leon could clearly see your mom threw her life away not to get you this money. That's how bad she didn't want you to have it. So I'm not going to disrespect her and give you the money. Yeah. So you can go on this ego trip to try to get Teddy back. Like, your mom threw away her life. She's down in the fucking county jail, bro, for murder to stop you from getting the money. Why would I disrespect her when she's like my mom too?
And you talking about investing and doing this, like basically you about to gamble the money. I'm not going to say never, but you're trying to recoup this 73 and you're not going to get that back. Mm-hmm. You're never going to establish what you had before, because you worked for it, earning it, you're being a drug dealer, but you kind of had it handed to you on a silver plate. That helped you work for.
Why wouldn't a person think, damn, I have $73 million in the bank and I'm getting drugs from the CIA. At any given second, they can just like wipe my bank account out, like by a computer. Like they can just get in
they
touch.
did.
Yeah, like get in touch with the bank, freeze his account, say they the CIA, take the money, and no one's the wiser. Like you can't do shit. So where are you taking 73 million? Are you gonna have all cash? Like any bank you put it in, it's reachable by the CIA and Teddy.
But I think
even if it's in the Caymans or fucking TD Bank, like he can get it.
I think Franklin's head just got too big, and I think he underestimated the reach
of the CIA.
Because I think
somebody giving you 300 bricks a week, you underestimate their reach.
I think he looked at it in terms of Teddy. I think he lost focus of the bigger picture. He was just so focused on Teddy.
of the bigger
and he
picture
knew
because
Teddy was
wasn't getting the bricks out of his closet.
Yeah, but Teddy was kind of rogue too. Yeah, and I think he was so focused on Teddy, he forgot like Teddy's part of an organization. Like that's like you working for your boss, but you forget your boss. Like this, you may not see the full building every day. Like I don't go into my job ever, but I know that the building is there and like it's executives there. It ain't just this one person who I talk to every day.
He's not the CIA.
Yeah.
He's got a whole government behind him.
Yeah.
And if they can just go, money gone, then why would you even be chasing that 73 million again for them to do something like that again?
And you would have thought
like by a press of a button, money gone.
You would think to yourself, like, why wouldn't you have dispersed those funds or done something different with them? Like
Teddy knew who Sissy was, Alton, Veronique. He knew everybody that you trusted enough with the money. He could have got to any of them.
Yeah, true, but
you could have put it in their accounts in their name. He would have took their shit.
Or why didn't you keep cash on you? Like, I mean, now that's a whole lot of cash to keep, but you would have thought.
You're not Pablo, babe.
I know, but
Pablo had that kind of money.
But you could have found something to do with it other than having it on. But again, he forgot the fact that I'm a drug dealer. This is illegal, and he tried to turn it legal. He tried to turn dirty money clean, but forgetting like you're still attached to the person who gave you the dirty money.
Right.
And they want you to stay in the dirty game. And yeah, because he don't care about you. He's benefiting from what you do. And you can't stop doing it until he says you can. Like
exactly.
And that was he forgot.
He thought I'm gonna buy this downtown shit and move away.
Yeah.
That was his original mindset. Move myself out of the drug game and be this businessman.
Yeah, you know who that
Ghost.
thinks of? Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that's Ghost. Like thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be done with the drug game, but it's like, it ain't that easy to cut off.
Mm-mm.
Like it ain't that
especially
easy.
when you're at that level. You can't just when you're at a lower level, you can say, yeah, I'm done. Hey fellas, I ain't fucking around no more. I ain't selling. But when you at that level, taking 300 keys off a person's lap every week, you can't just say, oh, I'm done.
Right.
Because now they ain't got nobody else to get the 300 keys to, and they mad about that shit.
Exactly.
You will work.
Exactly.
Or we're going to make this shit hit the fan.
Yep.
Or we'll take your $73 million. Like, it just works that way. Teddy and Oso. Nobody really won in this series or this show. Even Oso, at the end, he can't go back to the States.
Yeah,
this girl want to see him in North Carolina. The kids is okay. He got the message. The answer machine thing, he got that, even though it was left on there after a while. But he can't go back to the States.
You know, the only person I think that won was Wanda.
Yeah.
Like she might be the only person that won because she was at the bottom, you know, being a crackhead and all that in the project.
But she still was like in the struggle, like, I can't even be back here.
I know, but I mean her going back to Ghana, her making a decision to leave, remove herself, went back there for the life that she wanted, and she didn't allow the money to dictate what she was going to do.
Right.
Also lost as well because, you know, he lost his family. Like, yeah, being able to hear them, but he will never be safe. Even with Teddy being dead, he knew too much. He would never be safe going back to the States.
He had to stay in Mexico being.
And the sad part is, as
what do you call him? Chitadora. What is it called?
I forget the fight. The Luchadora?
Luchadora.
Yeah. Even with him being as loyal as he was to Teddy throughout the show, even when Teddy questioned Franklin, like, where did you go? Where did you take Oso? You was going for about 2 hours. So where'd you take him to, like, northern Mexico? In his mind, he was already planning on how he was going to track him down to get him. Like, I mean, so that's why Teddy had to die. Teddy had to die because nobody would be safe. As quiet and, like,
Teddy
calm
was very
demeanor as he had, he was vicious.
Very vindictive, and he would have gotten Oso back. He would have searched Mexico for Oso.
So I mean, he had to, and it's a shame that Oso had to betray him, but he wanted out. He was, I mean, he wanted his family, and it's a shame that he got to get out, but still didn't get to have his family.
I feel like this story could have been told without the other agent.
The KGB guy?
Yeah, they could have, like, that shit, his story arc and his plot and his role in all this could have been, like, if he wasn't a part of it, it still would have played.
Yeah,
Because at the end, it was like, oh, what do we do with this guy? Let's just throw him back.
Over, yeah. But I mean,
like, we can't write no more to get him out, to kill him, to do anything. So let's just throw him in the alley and his boys will come get him.
Well, that wasn't his boys. The CIA was coming to get him.
Right.
So who knows? Like, who knows what the CIA did to the KGB? Like, the KGB was from Russia. Like, they looked at you as a spy. So I mean, yeah, I do think, like, his role was a little, but maybe that was kind of too but no, I agree, because I was gonna say that was what pushed Oso over the edge. But even the DEA being on his ass pushed Oso over the edge. So they could have did without the KGB operative.
Yeah, I did not like his character at all. Even when he was, like, dealing with Sissy, I just didn't like that.
Yeah, and, like, him being gay and all that. Like, I just didn't see what.
And that's another thing. Like, now we got to get to the point of these characters. You got to put in a gay thing.
Yeah, like, well, I just
like,
didn't
this is
get.
Like Freeway Rick Ross drug dealing in the 90s, and we got to put in a gay character.
Yeah, it was just ill placed. Like, I didn't see a reason for it. So,
that's all. Everybody, all the characters that mattered. I have I'm drawn to the characters of the high level bad guys that everybody is scared of. I love the dude Kane that Franklin was in there talking to.
Oh,
that guy. And Kanan from
Power.
From Power. Like, just that level of bad guy where it's like, you're bad, but you're really bad. Yeah. Like, you do really bad shit. And I'm drawn to those type of characters. I don't know why. I'm not that guy. But it's like, those dudes are like, wow, like, this dude's bad, but he's really, really bad.
But I think that's a testament to their acting, too. Because it gives that belief that, wow, like, he really vicious.
But a character like Kanan, like, when you seen the stuff that they wrote in that, it was like, holy shit, this dude's crazy. And then that dude in...
And Kane.
Yeah, it was like, and Snowfall was like, this dude's high level crazy too. Like, look, he branded fucking Louis.
Yeah.
He put a K, like, on the chest right here.
That was bad.
That's some sick shit. That's some sick shit. And he invited the pimps in to pimp her out.
They raped her.
Yeah, like, that shit is... You got to be different to do shit like that.
You do
That's not like regular bad guy shit I did. Like, you got to be on a different level to do shit like that.
Like, not even like
keep this knife up and I'm gonna brand you like you a fucking cattle.
Yeah, to not look at a person as a person anymore, to want to hurt them to that point. Yeah, you got to be different. Like, it's crazy, but you think, unfortunately, that's what, the type of torture stuff. Not that people in the military brand people, but to be able to torture anybody, period, you got to be a different mindset.
Yeah. It makes me think about an interview one time Young Thug did on the Breakfast Club, and he had told Charlamagne, I didn't like you at first. And I told my homies and them to kidnap you, and we was going to torture you. And it was just like, wow, like, that's what you went to. Mm-hmm. Like, not jump you or, beat you up. Like, kidnap you and torture you. Like,
yeah,
that's next level bad guy.
that's pretty like sick in the head a little bit.
Snowfall is a wonderful, great show. Check it out. It's on FX. It's on Hulu. It's a great fucking show. We enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. The characters, the story, the character arcs, all that shit was just dynamic. John Singleton created it, and it's Easter eggs all through it. You just gotta if you grew up in the 90s, then you might catch some stuff and, a little bit of stuff in the background. You'd be like, oh shit, that's like part of the 90s. So catch Snowfall. That was the Snowfall recap. Did you learn anything this week?
Nope, I didn't learn anything. Nothing at all. I've been working hard, enjoying life, and loving on my husband, and that didn't leave me any time to learn much.
Okay.
Did you learn anything?
Nope. Nope.
We're gonna get better with this segment.
Nope.
Yeah, we're gonna get better. We got 3 grams for us?
Yeah, I got 3 grams, but I am gonna get better with this segment. I'm gonna start learning some shit. But I did think about this episode not just today, way beforehand, so I knew what I was coming with today. But I gotta get like some knowledge for y'all, just to give something back.
Yeah, that's gonna be our homework.
And I'm gonna make sure it's something very knowledgeable that's useful, not useless information, and not nothing that's like internet based, but just give you something that is you can use in life.
Yeah.
3 grams. Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia.
Ooh, great fight.
Fight night Saturday. We bunkered in, watched the fight. My baby cooked on a Saturday. That was great. To have some home cooked food for the fight. He didn't walk out at 1:00, but I had to take a little nap, a little 30-minute nap.
No, wait. Pause. Rewind. You did learn something.
What?
Time zones.
Oh yeah, I did learn time zones. Let me get to that. Like, I learned time zones. Now I know about time zones, not necessarily mountain time, but this blew my mind. But anyway, Gervonta Davis fought Ryan Garcia and put him on his ass in the 2nd round with a left hook, and then in the 7th round hit him with a left body shot and put him down and couldn't get up. Bust his nose, all that type shit. It was an awesome fight. Love Tank. We went to go see Tank in person at the Barclays in Brooklyn, and he knocked Raleigh out. It's even doper in person because like you get the experience. Like holy shit, he just hit him and he down.
And we had good seats, so like we could see real good.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like, remember we went back to the hotel. We was tired.
Yeah,
because it was like a long night of.
First of all,
long evening of boxing.
Let me tell y'all this. This is for those who may have never been to, and this was our first time going to a boxing, a live match. What you see on TV is like a quarter of the night. So you know how they may show like an opening fight, what do they call it? Like the undercard.
Preliminaries.
Like they
undercard.
Call the undercard, right? And then they show the main event. Sometimes there might be 2 undercards, right? Mm-hmm. And then the main event.
We sat through
in person fights. There's like 7 undercards and then the main fight. We didn't know. This was our first time. Yep. So we go and like we're probably, in this huge arena.
The ticket said be there at 7. We were there at 7. We could have got there about 8:39.
Yeah.
And
maybe
we still would have saw 4 or 5 fights.
Yes.
But we saw 10.
We were there when it was like probably only 500 people in the state. And this is a state, how many people the Barclays?
20,000.
They hold 20,000. So we might have been like 200 or 500 people that was there like on time, sitting there. But we saw all from little boys that was like 14 years old. So women. Women for a live boxing match. It is a long night.
And let me tell you, when it's 500 people in the stands while the early fights are going, you could hear the gloves.
Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff, the talking in the corner. When the fucking stadium's 20,000, you can't hear shit.
Yeah. So it was a long night, but go ahead.
But what did you think of the fight?
I thought it was great. So I remember back in the day.
Are you a Tank fan?
I am a Tank fan. Boxing, I think, is my favorite sport, and I was a little prejudiced about boxing because
you don't fuck with the MMA?
I like MMA, but you know what? I want to go to a live MMA fight because it's like what they show on TV, we don't get to see like the real good stuff. I want to see the real bloody, gory, like people getting really beat up. But I kind of group them together, but even though they're different. But with boxing, a lot of times you can see a lot of fights, and 30% of them are really good fights. Floyd Mayweather, I'll say this. I know he's, pound for pound, the best fighter, they say. I don't enjoy his fights because he's very defensive. I know that's the game. You want to fight to not get hit.
And not get hit.
But it's not, it has never been worth the money because it's like, okay, I want to see somebody get knocked down. I want to see a knockout. I know that's
Floyd's
not going to happen.
Floyd's been worth the money, though, babe. Floyd and Oscar De La Hoya was worth the money. Floyd and Zab Judah was worth the money. Floyd and Shane Mosley was worth the money. Like, those fights were worth the money.
Okay,
now,
he's 50-0, and you just named 4 fights.
Well, there's some fights where him and Pacquiao was worth the money. Like, it's some fights that he fought where it was like, okay, he's worth the money. But I get what you're saying, that I'm just trying to put it all out.
It was anticlimactic for me.
Yeah, I will give you that. His fights were very Floyd, 50 fights, I don't think he knocked out nobody. I think he might have, not knock out like sleep. He knocked people out because the ref stopped the fight, and that's considered a knockout. But he's never one punch somebody and they
like dazed.
No,
yeah.
he don't punch that hard. He just punches in volume, not in
power.
In power.
Yeah, and so that's the thing for me. Floyd has always been a person where it's like, I'm all right with us not buying the fight. Let's see it for free the next week. You know he's going to win anyway. Even if you think he might not, in the back of your mind, you know he's going to win, which he always has. Let's just watch it the next week for free. But Tank, I feel like this is his 3rd fight in a row that we've seen him knock somebody out. Or like win by TKO. Like
knockout, not TKO.
Yeah, okay, a knockout where like they can't get up.
2 people quit. Ryan Garcia couldn't get up and the last dude didn't get off the stool. Remember, Tank was looking over at him?
Yeah.
He was like, no more.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, that he knocked him out.
That's considered a knockout.
The one we went to, he knocked the guy out. So, I feel like...
Into the ropes.
I always would want to see his fights. So, he has me as a fan now. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining throughout. Like, some rounds better than others, but I feel like you can't take your eyes off of him for a second because you never know when it's going to happen.
That shit had my chest tight like I was in the fight.
Yeah, you scared me a little bit.
Breathe. Yeah. But watching them fights be like, whew, like, because I've been there and it's like the intensity is something different.
Yeah.
It's something different.
And being there, you can see some things in person. Like we told y'all before, we went to see WWE in person and it ruined it. I could never watch it on TV again because in person was so awesome. You see it on TV and it's like, womp womp. It looks so fake.
Yeah.
Boxing, no, I still enjoy it, seeing it in person and, on TV.
It's weird how you...
and basketball, too.
The wrestling part, like, we know that it's fake and they like, don't hit each other like that way, but... Watching an interview with Ric Flair the other day, it's like these wrestlers are revered at this old age because of what they've done, and they openly talk about the choreography of it. Like, yeah, I'll call this, and then I'll call that, and we going out there, and he was arguing because we knew I was going to win, and then I would keep a razor tape between my fingers and cut myself. Like, and you thinking back in the day, you thought they was bleeding for real.
Yeah.
Like, he really got hit with the chair and bled. But it's like, no, he got hit with the chair. He went like this, and he cut his forehead a little bit because he got a razor in his tape.
I was traumatized by wrestling. When I was a kid, my uncle and my grandpa were huge wrestling fans. I vividly remember living at 3233 D. McMichael Street in Abbotsford Projects and them being in front of the TV, like, watching wrestling, like, being so excited. I will never forget one time watching wrestling with them and somebody got thrown out the ring and the guardrails, like separate the audience, they fell on it and hit their throat. To this day, I don't know if it was real or not, but the man like turned blue and green, like he couldn't breathe, and the ambulance came in and I was devastated. I had to be like 4 years old. I can picture it. I don't know who the wrestler was. He was white. He had blonde hair. It wasn't Hulk Hogan. I used to love Hulk Hogan. But I was like devastated, crying because I thought he was going to die. Like, so
I'm
wrestling.
Sure people felt like that at a WrestleMania where Owen Hart died and they went to commercial and came back and finished the wrestling because it was WrestleMania. And he fell from the top rope on a rig that popped and broke his neck in front of everybody. And he died. And they went to like pay-per-view commercial. Pay-per-view had a commercial. And then they went back and wrestled. They finished the rest of the matches. And then said afterwards, Owen Hart passed away.
I kind of wish that, because now I'll be wanting to like check back into wrestling to see if like mentally I can get back into it. But I don't know who the characters are.
Guess who
anymore.
writes for wrestling?
Who?
Triple H and Edge.
Oh wow!
They write the story.
Edgeomania.
Yeah, they write
I
the
had
stories.
a sign that said Edgeomania.
That's
was
why
my
I just
favorite.
told you that. I'm
yes.
like, Triple H and Edge actually write the storylines for
That's
it.
dope. That's dope.
Second Graham, 15-year-old who went viral for beating up her teacher and breaking her leg, was sentenced to a year behind bars. Is warranted?
Yes. I saw a compilation video today, and I'll send it to you. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I think Earthquake posted it. And it, or maybe DL Hughley, but it was just saying like teachers are not paid enough for this. It just showed kids. It was two or three videos.
Yeah, I saw it.
The man cursing and then the girl trying to pull the door open.
Yeah.
Like that teacher was terrified. Yeah. I was happy the student got up to help him because I mean, it was like, what the? I was afraid for him. Like, if she.
And I'm sure he was afraid, like, if she comes in, she's an animal. She's going to kill him. Yes.
And then you think to yourself, he's a man, she's a girl. Like, can I punch her in the face? Am I going to get fired? Like, I absolutely agree. These kids need to be taught a lesson. But not only that, we need counselors, we need behavioral health therapists in these schools because these kids, and I'm not excusing their behavior. This ain't a reason.
Those kind of kids are too far gone, baby. When the counselor says come talk and they say fuck you. When they say sit down, fuck you. And they say, well, you know, I know you're hurting about something. Fuck you. You don't know what. Like, when you get that from them kind of kids, they too far gone.
You think our doctor can't help one of them kids?
I'm not saying they can't, but how far would our doctor go if, okay, I'm going to give you 10 sessions and every time you sit down in front of me, I ask you a question, you say fuck you.
I think the right doctor, the right professional would learn how, especially that first little boy, you could tell he was hurting in the inside.
Hypothetically, what do you say? Fuck you.
Okay, well, you know how.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but I don't know the words to say because I'm not in that profession. So I'm sure they have tools that they would be able to use to break through that. I'm sure maybe the first session, that might be all he said. But you know how you break through that? You show up again and let him know, I ain't giving up on you.
But what if he say fuck you to that? That's why I'm saying it's hypothetical. If
I understand.
Just walk down the road with me. If you get in front of a kid, and we've seen that on like Lean On Me or like these shows where it's like some kids are just gone where it's like they're not gonna care what you say. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Well, you know people love you. I don't give a fuck about what you're saying. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't want to be here. Fuck you. Like, there's kids who give you all that.
But that little boy looked like he was no more than like 12 years old. I don't think he's too far gone. Now, if he was sitting there and he 18, you think to yourself, he gonna have to do some jail time to learn that lesson.
But that was when we was younger. It's gotten younger now. Like, kids are.
Guess
when
what?
we was growing up, 18 was probably where you would say a kid is too far gone. Now it's kids walking around with 50-round clips at 12 years old.
Yeah, but I think nobody is trying anymore because I understand it's difficult. I'm not saying it's easy by any means, but it's evident like these kids, sometimes these kids need a hug. These kids need a meal. They need somebody to say, you know what? I ain't gonna bother you. Here go a wash rag. Here goes a brush. Here goes some clean clothes. Here goes some deodorant. Something like that you might not even realize might be a trigger. Like, damn, I ain't had this in forever. He might be angry because his balls itch. And he know that it ain't nothing he could do about it because he don't have no soap or running water at home. Like, it could be, I'm just saying, it could be something that's
like... No, I get what you're saying. Like, if nobody never cared about you, you showing you care might break through. But all I'm saying is, I agree. I'm going to give you that there's some kids out there who can be talked to and loved on, but there's also some kids out there that a meal and a hug's not going to stop them from carrying a 50-round clip. It's not.
You're absolutely correct. I think that we have to at least try to help these kids. So her getting a year, it's unfortunate. She committed a crime and she needs to pay for it. A year, and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't agree to her doing 10 years in jail. She's a kid. But I think a year and hopefully that year is rehabilitative and not just penal. Because I think sometimes too these kids get sent in, they're punished for the things that they do, but where's the rehabilitation aspect of it? Let's not just punish them, let's help them to remediate their bad behavior.
I agree. Last grant, and this is kind of just like wow, inclusiveness. Mattel debuts the first Barbie doll with Down syndrome. Thoughts?
I saw it, and I don't know how other people who I'm going to specifically say people who have Down syndrome or know somebody or are closer to it. And I hope this isn't taken insensitively at all. I think they could have done a better job at the look, because I think it's a beautiful thing for for children of all
So
parts
you think
of
a
the
Barbie
world.
doll should be in every facet of life?
They had Barbie dolls with alopecia.
I've seen the Barbie.
Yeah.
I've seen Winnie Harlow with a Barbie doll with alopecia. I've seen a Barbie in a wheelchair. I've seen Barbie now that's a trans. I've seen Barbie that is black. I've seen Barbie that is now
with Down syndrome.
Down syndrome. But I'm just saying, are we going to have Barbie for?
I mean, to
for everything, like where does that stop, or not?
I think it's something small. I don't think it's hurting anything by doing it, by giving children somebody that looks like them. So first we started
have Barbie with one arm.
Yeah, I think they already do.
Okay.
I think no, I'm positive that they do, and they have Barbie with prosthetic legs.
Yeah, I think they do too.
To give, I mean, because we have kids of all different demographics, medical challenges, developmental disabilities. So what's wrong? I mean, I think it's something that's small enough to make a child feel good that doesn't hurt anybody. So why not? I don't think it's so. But again, my only, it's not a negative. I think maybe they should have worked a little more closely with the artists to make them to make the Barbies more reflective of the facial appearance of a child with Down syndrome.
I think they only did it with the eyes. Just looking at the picture, they only kind of like, don't take this out of context, but they kind of Asianed up the eyes a little bit. Slanted the eyes a little bit.
Yeah, so that's the only thing. I mean, but I think having, if I had a child that had Down syndrome, I would go and buy it.
So we're gonna have Barbie with moles. We're gonna have Barbie with freckles. We're gonna have Barbie.
They got plus size Barbies. Again, I don't think it's anything that is hurtful in any means. I can't think anything off the top of my head why it's a negative thing. But to have a child,
I don't think it's a negative thing at all.
No,
I just want to know your thoughts.
Right,
on it.
But
I kind of agree with you. I don't think it's not hurting anybody, and if it's making some kid feel good about themselves, then.
Yep, making a kid smile, making them feel better about themselves, then I'm all for it. I don't see an issue, a problem with it at all. I think across the board, like maybe all dolls, not just Barbie, need to, kind of follow suit with that. I know there are like some line of dolls. Target has a line where they have different nationalities. And for the Caucasian dolls, you might see a redhead doll, and then for the
Barbie with a red dot.
I think they might have Barbie
with a red dot.
Oh yeah, I don't know if they had that already. Yeah. I know they had those with feathers. But for the black dolls that at Target, they have them with different textures of hair, which I think is awesome because, oftentimes that's where young girls, they start to develop their self-image and confidence. If you're always playing with these dolls that have this straight silky hair, you start to not like your kinky curly hair. You think it's a bad thing. Or now, you want to weave because you want it to look like this doll that you think you've been playing with all these years. But now you have this doll that, her hair is curly like mine. She's cute, so I'm cute. I want my hair curly. I want my hair afro puffs like this doll.
The comb go when I comb her hair like you do mine.
Yeah, exactly. It hurt when mommy do my hair. It hurt when mommy do her hair too. Because kids, they see their reflection. I seen this video of a little girl. Her dad when she would go to get shots at the doctor, her dad was hugging her, told her that he loves her, trying to coddle her to stop her from being in pain. And then it was a video of her treating her doll the same way. She was playing doctor with the doll, like she was giving the doll a needle, and then was hugging the doll, like treating it like her dad treats her. So this is how little girls build up their self-image. This is where they see the reflection of themselves. This is why it was so important back in the day when they did that trial, when it was just just black and white dolls, and you know they were asking little black girls how they felt about the black dolls, and they thought they were ugly and they were dirty, and they only wanted white dolls.
But does it stop anywhere? Like, so I'm just trying to think of a negative. If there was anorexic Barbie.
Well, yeah, because anorexia is not a good thing. So
it's not a good thing, but people go through it, is what I'm saying. It don't have to be good. Now you judge it. You're going through something.
No,
you
anorexia is a medical condition that you try to be cured from.
Right, but I'm just saying you're going through something. It's not like you should be judged for it.
No, I don't think they should do something that will amplify like an anorexic Barbie. I don't know.
That's because I'm sitting here thinking, like you said, what's the negative? And I'm thinking, okay, what doll could they make that wouldn't be?
Yeah, right. Now if you want to just have a thin Barbie, that's one thing. But Barbie has traditionally already been thin, so even go down that road,
anorexic
I don't think
Barbie is just the original.
I don't. Yeah, I
don't. That's a wrap. Act 2 the podcast, episode 120, coming to a close. Act2thepodcast.com, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Anchor, Radio Public, TikTok, Breaker, and Spotify. It's your boy, International Walk.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-hostess with the mostest.
If y'all fuck with us, y'all fuck with it. By now, if y'all fuck with us, y'all fuck with us. If you don't, you should. Peace.
I feel like my eyelids